So, you're coming from my previous video of importing everything, and if you watched Axton's video on how to set the materials, this is going to be showing you how to set up the macro. And it's more trial and error, getting everything right, getting everything into the right slots for where it's going to be painted, how it's going to be painted, and basically I'm going to show you how that will all work. So, you're going to need to open up World Machine once more, and when you do that, you're going to need the Kahoot macro mask that's in the squad's modding Discord. So you're going to show up something like this. Actually, you do not need it. I apologize. That's if you already have the original height map, and you're basically, if you have, or not the original height map, if you're creating a height map from scratch. Oh, my voice, kind of sick. So this is how you do it from PR. PR is going to have a lot of files. It's going to have, it's going to have your entire list here of what you need. The height map, detail map, which I didn't get to work, honestly. I tried stitching them via Photoshop or the image collector, and it seems like it's either missing a corrupted file or the files are corrupted itself during a transfer from DDS to PNG. Getting into DDS, which is an older format, you're going to need to convert it to either PNG, RAW, or JPEG. So going from there, if you can get it converted correctly and you can get it stitched together, that's awesome, because then you don't need to do the method that I'm doing. The method that I'm doing is I'm using a color mask, or not a color mask, but grabbing the color from the actual height map and bringing it into a macro mask. So I want to say thanks to Creative Realms for helping me with this. This is a method that I did not think at all. I tried creating it for myself from the height map, and it did not work out as correct, because I was trying to get the original colors instead of hand painting it, being a pain in the ass and all that. Shout out to him for helping me get this down. So, going back to your PR folder, you want to find the levels, your level, whichever one you're using. For me, it's Remiel. And when you get into the Remiel root, you're going to see a bunch of files like terrain data, all this other stuff, which you don't really need at this moment. I don't think you need it later on. But anyways, in order to grab the actual color of the map in the minimap, you want to type in minimap. This is the fun part. I already converted it and saved it into the root of the minimap, or into Remiel's minimap area, so I can grab it anytime I want. And plus, you're going to need it for later. So with this is you're going to have the in-game map.dds, and you need to convert it from DDS to either PNG, JPEG, or something that Unreal Engine can read, and what World Machine can read. So to do that is go to, just type in Google DDS to PNG, and it's going to bring up a couple of sites that you can use to convert. I usually use this site as it's free and it's fast. So all you do is click it, drag it on top of choose files, or you can do it manually. Target format, and you click convert now. When this converts, it's gonna, give you the source file here, output file. You can either click this, it's gonna bring it to you. All you do is save image as. Save it to whatever location you want to save it for. Now, here comes the fun part. Once you have that downloaded, you want to open up Photoshop once more. And you basically want to click and drag this into here. Now, in order to know where the color is going to be painted on via the Kahoot mask, which I'll get here in a second, is you're going to have to do the average of the color. So say I want to pick this green down here. Alright, so I know this green is painted basically everywhere else, and I want this in the locations that it needs to be. So in order to do that, just go down here click like this little square. Click that. Copy, or actually no, don't do that. You want to do your snippet tool. And with this snippet tool, you can easily copy and open up a new Photoshop. So I got a little square of like, almost 100 meters. You want to click new. That's going to bring up a window of the clipboard of the copied file. So once that opens, all you do is Control V. It's going to paste in here. Go to filter, blur, average. This is going to basically be the average color that's there. Click this and get your eyedropper tool, and it's give you the RGB. And what you need to do is you're going to save that for later. Sorry, kind of backwards. You're going to save it for later, and you're going to do the same method as we did to get the height map. But with this time, we're going to get the file input. So you want to click on file input, grab wherever that mini map was, and import it to here. And once that's done, you want to get a select color, which is going to be I think selectors, select color. You want to attach it via that, and when you open this up, it's going to ask what color you want. And this is where that RGB is going to come into play from Photoshop. So you see it's 111, 104, 35. You basically want to type that into here. When that happens, is it's going to show up on the minimap of where that color is laid out, where it's been painted. And this is how I got my Remil, very spot on. Very close to 1:1. The height map itself is 1:1, but where everything's painted is not 1:1. It's very close to 1:1. As you can see, there's some up in the rocks. This is where the grass is painted. This is another area where the grass is painted. It's pretty easy. These rocks here, I can, you can use bias and gain, which can eliminate most of the rocks there. So you basically, this is again trial and error in getting what you need. So this is also creating a splat map for me, which is perfect. So basically you got your file input, the color that you need, and your bias and gain to control most of it. So you want to hook up an erosion, and you want to hook up a height output. When you do this, it's going to show where everything is, like where you want it to be painted. Now there's going to be some stuff, like trees in the way and whatnot. Actually, I don't know if this will work. I don't think this will work because it's using a full mask. Yeah. You don't want that. You just want to plug it into the height map. You want to just plug it in the height map regularly. So this is your created splat map, and this is where you're going to plug in the macro mask. So this is going to be definitely trial and error, where everything's going to be placed down in and painted onto. So you want to take your bias and gain, and you'll plug it into, oh, you know what I just realized? No, it will still work either way. Plug it into one of these channels. Red usually is for grass, I guess, if you're using Tuluol. It may not be the same, so again, trial and error. And then same thing here. You want to get your color selector, and you want to, paint like where the sand is, or you want to grab where the sand's at, and you want to be able to, easily find it. So basically, you take that. In order to get this color, you average it again by going in here, grabbing a piece of sand, like right here or something, and getting the average color of it. For me, it was, red 187, 166, 122. I did not really use a bias or a gain because I didn't really need it, because it's pretty spot on with all of this. So again, erode it. Or you can erode it. I did it so I can get the splat map. And then you want to hook it up into the green channel. Again, trial and error. It's different for everybody. I don't even remember what this one is. I think I was just creating a separate splat map for one of the areas that I did not use. So again, file input, I'm grabbing more of the darker sides for like the rocks and whatnot. And as you can see, it's here. It kind of blends in with the grass, so that's alright. So from here, bias, I use a blur to, get rid of the hard edges. I've been awake for like 2 days, sorry. Gets rid of the hard edges and whatnot for the map. It's not going to get you 100%, but it's going to get you definitely close. Everything else you might have to, paint on, etc. And again, plug it into the color channel, and you should have a macro mask. So, what to do with this? You export it. And you export it via a bitmap output. You can change it from like a raw JPEG to a PNG, or not raw, but you know what I mean. So from here, you want to open up Unreal Engine. You want to find your instance. And in your instance, you're going to have a macro mask area. You can see I already have mine imported. I have the sRGB off. And you want to just basically click and drag that macro mask in here and then replace it with whichever one is in here. Usually it's the Tamiya one, or not Tamiya, the Tallil. And it should paint it correctly for you. Now, I didn't put any of my splat maps on this one, just because this is my tutorial one. If you want to see what mine looks like with everything attached to it, I'll get you the minimap here. So this is what it looks like. So this is what with the splat maps, with the macro is. You see I started, going by hand, color correcting most of this stuff, and getting it to basically 1:1, which it's very, very close to 1:1. As you can see, let me grab the original here, which is right here. As you can see, it's pretty damn close. I got that little square. I got this down here, the squares, square, oh my god, the grass. It's a little bit modernized, whatnot. It's definitely basically 1:1. There are some things I still need to go on over about is how do I create roads so accurately? How do I do this? And the simple answer is pretty simple. You create an overlay. So you want to take this, this here, which should be, this should be, okay, 248 by 248. So you want to make it 1:1, so you want to go back into Photoshop and you want to upscale it to 2 kilometers. So I upscaled it to, 217 or 248 to match the overlay. So I'm gonna quickly pause and switch to my actual Remil map and whatnot. So